Hey, this is Jake Lawrence, and you're listening to the Jake Lawrence Podcast. Today's guest is Sharjeel Siddique, and we talk about technology in India, his company that does chatbots for other companies, and we talk about what life is all about in Hyderabad, India, where he broke it into the tech industry in India. We talk everything about chatbots, cryptocurrencies, and partying in Dubai. We talk about lots of cool stuff. I love Sharjeel, cool guy. Can't wait to have him on again. Just want to let you know that I want to say thank you for everyone who has listened so far. I know last episode I said that we were going to get a new episode out every week, but things sort of changed a little bit. Zunis Labs, for those of you who know, is my company, and with me and my partner Eric have been working diligently on the project that is Zunis, and we have lots of clients, and we're collaborating on a lot of projects, especially the one coming up. Our new mobile app is coming out. It's called Kai.us. It's actually on the App Store right now. Sorry, Android users, it's only iOS. And I will be talking at NIU's hackathon, Northern Illinois University's hackathon, on November 3rd, presenting the app and really presenting the movement that's behind the app as well. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to the next 4 months in which we have a grant for the marketing and promotion of the app itself. So it's going to be a roller coaster next 4 months, and I cannot wait to start churning out more content for all of you who are still listening. So without further ado, keep tuned up and let's listen to Sharjeel Siddique. All right. Hey, can you pronounce your name real quick for me?
It's Sharjeel.
Sharjeel.
Yeah, you got it right, actually. So I was pretty impressed.
Oh, okay. Cool,
yeah.
cool.
So I was
Sharjeel.
like, I got to spend 2 minutes now teaching him how to pronounce my name. And then I was like, oh, damn, he got it right.
Sharjeel Siddique, right?
Yeah, Siddique.
Siddique?
Yes.
Siddique. What kind of name is that?
Well, I don't know. My parents gave it to me. I never bothered to ask them, what does it mean? I was like, okay, I got to, live with it now for my entire life. So I don't know. Maybe I'll Google sometimes. And people actually said it's a Persian name. I really never bothered to know about it.
Sharjeel.
Yeah.
Sharjeel. I like it. Yeah, I like it. Jake, my parents named me after a pro wrestler.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of WWE.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Oh, why?
No way, man.
I used to watch it. Now it's boring and it's like it's very predictable and it just got boring. So I stopped watching it. But, when I was young, when I was like in my teenage, so I used to watch a lot of WWE, get inspired by them, the way they would. And that's the reason I'm able to talk in this way. Okay. Because, I used to look at them and feel like, damn, man. And they do a lot of pauses and they have the control of moderation. So like, control of the tone, how to talk, like, wow. One of the superstars turned out to be a huge Hollywood actor, Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, yeah. The Rock,
yeah.
Man. I love The Rock.
Yeah, me too.
He's a hustler, man. If you want to talk about hustlers and grinders, that guy, man, wakes up at 4:30 every morning, works out for like 2 hours, and just grinds all day.
And he doesn't even have to do it, man. He's rich already now. He's like, I got to get up and, start working. Basically show up every day.
I don't know, man. Do you think if you make it in a big way, do you think you're going to keep on doing what you're going to do?
Well, honestly, I think no. But somehow, I would get bored sitting on couch watching TV. Then I'll be like, all right, I got to do something because this can't go for long. So basically, I think I'm going to get up and do things that I like. Actually, it happened to me. So 2 months back, I made this, really good money. And I felt like, I can enjoy my time. I went to Dubai. I went to Malaysia all by myself. I didn't take any of my friends and I was spending money. In between, I was questioning myself. Okay, all right, is that it? Like, this is it. This is what you do. You make money, you spend it. I mean, there's no purpose beyond this. So, I came back to India and I was like, no, this is how it's going to work. You'll somehow feel it in your heart that, you're doing something wrong, or maybe you're just wasting your time. There's more to life than just, sitting and spending money.
Yeah, no, totally.
You'll eventually notice it. That's what I believe. If you have that mindset.
Yeah. Dude, how was Dubai?
Oh, Dubai was great. So I actually went there and, I just went there for 5 nights, I believe. Saw Burj Khalifa, had a good dining experience, and, saw some of those fake, water lakes and fake greenery. Basically, it's a fake city, to be honest, but it's very impressive what they did, turned a desert into a complete metropolitan. So I was like, damn, huge.
Oh, yeah, dude. Dude, it's huge. It's huge. You're 22, 23?
I'm 22 right now.
You're 22, so you were born in 1995, right?
1994 of December.
Oh, 94 December. Okay, cool, dude. Yeah, I was born in February 1990. You're a little bit younger than me, man. So do you employ right now, like in your company, people that are older than you? Or?
Well, to be honest, I'm the oldest in the company.
No shit, really?
We have our age group starts from 18 and set 22.
Wow, man. And how many people do you employ right now?
We have employed like 8 people. Yeah, that's excluding me. So if you include me in the team, it's like 9.
What are some of the position titles in the company right now?
We have a CTO, basically Chief Technical Officer, and we have operations head. We have a front-end developer. So it's basically a tech company. We have a full stack developer. All right. We have a UI designer and, software architect. That's basically the others are programmers. So they're interns and they're working on it.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool. And you had said something earlier that like you had made a lot of money like 2 months ago, right? And was that because you acquired like a large client?
I want to go way back, actually. I want to go 10 years back. Basically, 10 years back means when I was 12-year-old. So I got introduced to the computer like when I was 7 or 8 and sort of like tweaked into it, was trying to see, how the websites work and all this thing. So I basically built a static website when I was 10-year-old, and it was just an informative website. You just come in, get some information, and I used to copy it from Wikipedia. So I wasn't even creating the content. Well, when I was 12-year-old, I made another website. It was, again, a static informative. And back then, there was something called Microsoft Front Page, which was a Dreamweaver tool. So if you know Dreamweaver, which is just like drag and drop and you create a website. So I was able to add functionalities to it. You can come over to the website and create your own content over there. I tried to play around with ads. I made like $100 with it. So I was always interested in computers. And when I was 15, I started another website. Same with the vision, like anybody can come in, create their own content, put some ads, made a couple of money, and eventually shut down again. So while I was doing this, there's one thing that I got to know that, I was very interested in computers. So basically, I did my high school and, my secondary from Saudi Arabia. I can come over here to India, and I'm just thinking that, I could do more because, if you want to move fast, you got to be with people that thinks like you. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I'm doing this all by myself. I'm creating websites, but I want to learn more. I want to be surrounded by really smart people. I want to be surrounded by people who are older than me and have more experience. So there was something called co-working space that was slowly picking up in this country. If you know, a co-working space is something that, a space where, you get to have a shared space with different companies and it's all open. Yeah, I think in the United States, it's really hot over there.
We have this thing in Chicago called WeWork.
Oh, WeWork.
Yeah, WeWork,
yes.
Right? It's in NYC, it's in LA. It's huge, man. And they have like, a lot of companies rent their space there. They all work together. They have conference rooms and they do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So same. All right. So I thought that, maybe I could start something small. Maybe if I can create a co-working space here in the city of Hyderabad, then I could attract really smart people. So it was a selfish motive, to be honest, that, if I could be surrounded by smart people, I could create something really good. So what happened is basically I somehow saved some money and rented a very small place that can barely fit 15 people. Just 15 people. So, I rented this place and I started my first co-working space. Now, the hard problem, what I saw in it was the fact that, when you don't have a market created for it, it's really difficult to sell. So in India, the idea of co-working space was just picking up. Okay, it was really famous in the United States and all the western part of the country of the world, but here in India, especially the city of Hyderabad, was far behind on the scene of co-working space. So I had to do my homework, and I was like, all right, I'm trying to advertise this as a co-working space, as a community thing, as like, you could be surrounded by like-minded people. And here in India, we had a concept, something called cubicles. That's what an office space looked like. You have your own private space, a little private space, and you work in that space. So someone saying that, oh, I need to sit on a table next to another guy. How can I do this? People were not welcoming to the idea. So I used to get a lot of calls and people were like, all right, are you the one who provide office space? And I spent almost a year explaining to them, we're different. We're not an office space. If you want an office space, we have the service centers lots of service centers in the city. Companies like Regas and all, they provide office spaces, they provide cubicles, your own private room. But what I wanted was that basically fit in people in one room from different companies. So this is something hardship that I faced while creating this brand, the Valley Co-working. If you can actually visit our website, it's thevalley.in. If you have you been to the website?
No, not yet. I'm going there right now though.
Yeah, so thevalley.in.
Workaholics served better.
Exactly. So we took a very small space and we were trying to promote the spirit of entrepreneurship. And on that way, I felt, okay, man, maybe I should pivot my business. Maybe I should turn this around into an office space, build cubicles and sell it. But, I felt like, if I can wait a little bit, maybe this thing will pick up just like the rest of the cities have picked up. So Bangalore, if you know, is one of the hottest startup city in our country. So co-working space were working really well for them. And I felt like Hyderabad is going to soon catch up to this. And that's what happened. After a year, so we were in the space of co-working, there were only 3 players in the beginning. After a year, we had like 15, 20 co-working space in the city. It was basically the push of the supply. And this thing got a lot of PRs, a lot of media attention. People started to think that, okay, I can buy cheap seats now and I can work. Okay, I can have my own office space and everything that I shouldn't be worried about is taken care by them. So the internet bill, the electricity, I just pay for the seat. So this is how a lot of people thought that, okay, co-working space are actually a good thing. So it's not like I didn't get any customers in a year, but it's just that, the customers I was getting were very small, or, they were the early adopters, I would say, for me. I did a lot of events in the co-working space, and, I get to, so I reserved one seat for myself because, I was like, I'm working on something and I need to be surrounded by really smart people. And we used to discuss everything from, how businesses run or what kind of tech we should be using. So different events I used to conduct. It was an amazing time then. And along the way, I started a couple of startups which failed. One of them was the local business listing, which right now is shut down. It's pickshop.in. So we used to go to the local businesses and say to them that we're going to put you on the internet and you just have to pay a couple of, I would say $1, and we're going to put you on the internet. And, anybody who is looking for services that you provide will come through our website. So some of the guys paid, some of the guys didn't, but eventually it didn't work out because it was very, I would say, tedious work. That really didn't pick up in the middle. So what happened was that, in the middle, we thought, and I was sitting with a bunch of my friends, and we thought that, why don't we do this, something called snack box delivery startup. So I felt that, we could do this. And at the very beginning, I was very skeptical. I was thinking, should we do it or not? Because there's a lot of logistic efforts into it. You got to check, prepare the food, find the location. And the hard part is that if you only have one kitchen running and for the operations, you have to 3 or 4 people, you cannot supply to more number of people, or you cannot serve it to more number of people. I clearly knew that we were not going to make big profit out of this. And we're going to be doing a lot of hard work. We were just 3 people. And in fact, some of the times I became a delivery man just because we had shortage of delivery people, executives. So yeah, that was crazy. You got to do jobs, man. Like if you signed up for something like this, you got to be ready to take any job. So sometimes we used to cook because our chef wasn't available. So, and it was a very bad food. We got really bad reviews out of it. I wouldn't talk about it. So we thought like, okay, we could do something like this. We could start our own startup, a snack box food delivery service. So basically from 4 to 8 p.m., we provide you snacks. So if you're looking for snack, we used to give this traditional, do you know samosas, Indian samosas by any chance?
Samosas? No, I don't think I do. No.
Yeah, so they're basically like, I would say croissants of India.
Oh no, it's like a fried baked dish, right?
Yeah. Very
like
crunchy.
spiced potatoes, onions, peas, lentils, macaroni, noodles, and things like that.
Very crunchy. Yeah, we put samosa, some juice, some fruits in it, and
Sounds good.
Yeah, we give out like in a pack. You get all this variety of snacks in it. So we started delivering it, and as we predicted, it was not working. So one day, I just I was surfing the internet, and I was looking ways to promote this snack box. So I was looking ways to increase the sales. So I end up at a page of Facebook where they just recently announced chatbots. So I was curious about it. Like, what is it? Because what I knew about chatbots were those annoying bots, those spammers that keep messaging. Have you ever...
Yahoo.
They ask for your ASL, and whatever you give them, they're going to send back the same replies. Or else they're going to give you a link, be like, go to this link, you can see me nude.
Right. No, totally. Yeah. They were on AIM, they were on Yahoo, they were on MSN Messenger back in the day. They were very prevalent.
Yeah. So so I had the basic idea of spammers. So I was like, maybe they're doing the same. I really didn't have the picture that where can it be used. So anyway, I gave a shot. So I saw like, Facebook was demonstrating that you can do a lot of things with chatbots, but I really didn't know how it can help for this startup. But then I was like, maybe I should just put it up for the sake of putting one. And I went to first a bot builder. I don't want to disclose the name because now it's our competitor. So we went to our website, and I saw, I basically built a bot, keeping the frame of the flow of the chat was basically to get person to buy our product. And I set it up, and to my surprise, I got a couple of orders from a chatbot. We didn't even advertise it or promote it anywhere. We just put it on the Facebook page. So it was just sitting there. And people, out of curiosity, those people who were having trouble, so we were taking orders from WhatsApp and calls. So people who had troubles, or people, who had different queries, they used to message us on Facebook, and they would be like, how can I order this? Or be like, do you have my order? So basically I worked it was a very simple thing. I just put the keyword order, give the flow of getting the person to order of our snack box. So I end up getting like 5 sales with that. So
it was something, right? So like when you say that there was the keyword order, so you're like developing questions in the bot, like how can I order, where should I order, can you take my order, and you take those, and you develop a line in response to that, right?
Yes, that's how it works. So people who follow the instructions, so bot is crazy right now. So if you don't follow the instructions, if you try gibberish on the to a bot, it will just be psyched. Oh, what is he talking about? But if you follow through the instruction, you can get the sales right. You'll be able to order the snack box. So that was a challenge. So people who played it right were able to order, and people who didn't know how to play, or they tried it, in the middle, they messed up the whole conversation. So there was a problem.
It sounds like a bad bot.
It was a bad bot, to be honest, because AI wasn't configured very well. In the meantime, like while I was working on the bot from a bot builder, I saw a lot of flaws into it. So buttons weren't, coming right, and I didn't like the kind of UI. So I just felt somewhere that, if I was able to make 5 sales through a chatbot, maybe there's businesses out there who could do the same. Or not just sales, we could even use it for customer support. We can use it as a trading platform, like, to buy and sell currencies or stocks, shares. There are a lot of use cases out there. So I just felt that, we could do a whole lot of things with chatbots. And here's a fact. When someone takes out his phone the first thing he checks is his messages. And there's a fact that more than 80% of the time we spend on messaging, on the messaging platform. So it could be WhatsApp, Messenger. So that's where people mostly spend their time on in our mobile. Let it be even LinkedIn messages. Okay. So we are more concerned about messages on mobiles.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because that's something I used to do. I mean, that's something I currently do. I don't know, but because my friends are in there, like, I have more good communication channel with them.
Yeah, I think it's like it's your messages. People are directly communicating with you. So you have more of a fear of missing out. Like I have to read what people are going to message me with. And if you miss out just for one more moment, then you're going to miss out on it, So people are drawn to that. And it's very addictive,
True. So I just thought, what people are doing to me right now, brands could do it. Brands could message me back saying that, all right, we got 20% off on Tommy Hilfiger. Would you like to buy it? So I don't want to miss out on that. So this was also another idea. I thought that, I could also help different businesses get sales or somehow solve the queries instead of having a human solve it. All right. So I called another guy, my friend, who was very tech savvy. I give him a call and I tell him that, all right, we are going to build a chatbot builder because the current product that I'm using, it sucks. And I think we could do a better job. So it began. So we created our first chatbot builder. We went on a conference and, somehow pitched in that we create bots for different businesses. Our tool is very easy to use. You can create forms, all that. And after that, turns out that for the first 3 months, we had no clients. We were just building our products. And I was trying so hard to get clients. And I used to go to every small businesses. So here's one use case I thought bots could be used as, feedback forms. So you basically message on Facebook and it asks, would you like to take a feedback? Asks you a bunch of like 5 or 6 questions and you got options to choose from. And that's it. That's one of the use cases I saw. So I thought, I could sell this off to different restaurants. But the bots were very new to the world of tech and to the businesses, to be honest. So when I went to small businesses and said that, you can run on a feedback, they were very interested. They said, oh, that's great. That's amazing. But when it comes time to pay, they were hesitant. They were reluctant to do that because because you don't want to put money on something that is still evolving, that is something not credible in this view. So I thought that they had every right to decline me, but somehow I still try to convince them. I was like, you could grow your customers by asking them questions. You will have analytics of, how many people like your product or not. They listened to it, but, they weren't ready to pay for it. So I just thought maybe I could, throw in a demo or, give a free trial for 15 days. Turns out, even for that, they weren't much interested to it. But still, we were on looking forward to give a free trial for 15 days. And then I get a call from someone from a company telling me that I want to create a bot and how much money are you going to create one? So I just got a cold call over here. And I was so desperate to sell my product that I would price it any price. I would give it away for any price. I was desperate, to be honest. I was like, I need to sell this. I'm making 0 sales right now. Okay. I'm making 0 sales and I'm not making any sort of money. So on the phone, he was like, I want to create a simple chatbot. What do you normally charge for a simple chatbot? So that was a thing.
$500.
Oh, that's a lot of money, you ask. I asked him $200. So I asked him like, oh, all right, $200. So he was like, all right, fine. That sounds great, $200. So he gave me a location to his company's office. And it was like, why don't you come down to our office and we'll discuss this. Here's an impression I had in my mind. It was something like, okay, I'm going to go there. There's going to be a bunch of 5 or 6 people sitting. It's going to be a small startup. I'm going to sell them the chatbot. It was amazing. So I was like, I had everything in my mind. And I wasn't much prepared for that. I was like, we're going to have a loose, casual talk since these guys are just startup. They want a chatbot. And I'm not so sure if they're going to close the deal or not. They're just interested and want me to come down to their office. So I had this impression that, okay, small company, I could do this, $200. At least we're getting something if we close the deal. And I walk up to their office, and I was searching for their office, and it's in this huge, big building, more like a campus. Okay, I get in, I get through the security. I'm still having that impression. There's got to be 8 people in a small room. I'm still having this impression. I take the elevator, go to their 6th floor. There's a receptionist, and I tell them I want to meet this guy who just called me up. Till then, to that point, I was like, all right, they're going to have a small room. I'm going to get in. I'll be able to talk to the CEO. I'll be able to talk to anyone right now. And this guy comes in and takes me inside a room. He opens the door after the reception. I'm done with the receptionist thing. And you know how many employees are sitting there?
How many, man?
250.
No way.
Yes.
Seriously?
250 employees are sitting there and they're working, and they have everything. They have pool table, they have table tennis, and they have like 3-4 meeting rooms. I was speechless that I wasn't prepared for any of this. I was like, all right, I'm going to go through 8 people and there are 250 employees sitting there working. And he takes me to a meeting room, which was basically a kind of boardroom meeting. And there are a bunch of, senior people sitting there, 6 or 7. Now, I'm the youngest. By the way, I was still in college while doing this. All right, I recently graduated. I was pretty surprised. I was shocked. I was like, how do I do this? And I was stammering. And he started to be like, all right, Sharjeel, now that you said, you could create a chatbot, this is our company. Their company was basically, do you know Rummy Games, those bidding websites?
Oh, no, I'm not familiar. No.
Yeah, so I'll just send you a link over here. So it was the India's #1 rummy game, a website.
Oh, Rummy. Yeah, Rummy. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
You know Rummy, right? All right. So, these guys were India's #1 rummy game.
Dude, this is huge. Ace23.com, India's #1 Rummy site. Authentic, genuine, and trustworthy. 8 million Rummy players and counting. This looks huge, man.
Yeah. So what happened was that I was pretty sure I am not closing the deal because I'm a small startup and I already told them $200. I could have made a whole lot of money with them, but I quoted them $200 thinking they're a small startup and that's the only thing they can afford. And I was like, basically we had a small meeting over there. He was asking me about the protocols or things, possibilities of what we can do with the chatbot. So I pitched in, I talked about it, this and this, these are the pros and cons, this is our limitation. So I basically talked about it and then I left. So I met all of them, said goodbye to them. And when I was leaving, I have one thing in my mind, and that was that I wasn't able to close the deal. So I was like, these guys are never going to give me, because when they started asking me the first question, I wasn't able to answer because, I'm still having that feeling that what am I doing here? These are such a big company. I felt that, I wasn't that great when it comes to presentation. So I had this inner feeling that these guys are never going to give it to me. So I left. Then again, came back to the office and we were a small startup working on our own product. And after a week, I get another call from H23. I got a call from H23 saying that, why don't you quote us the price? They gave me the documentation to go through. And this is sort of chatbot we want. Quote us the price. I was still, having second thought. Are these guys serious or are they just playing around with me? I was like, damn, I quoted him $200. How long can I go? How far can I go? There's no chance I could go all right, now it's going to be $50,000. They were like, dude, you're ready to make a $200 bot and all the way you jumped over to $50,000. So I was like, how do I do this? How do I make it happen? Somehow, I pushed it to $1,000. Somehow. I had another meeting where I had to show why I'm taking those $1,000. And they were a bit, curious to know, what sort of resource are being used that, a $200 bot wasn't using. So basically, I was able to crack that deal. So we closed the deal on January. We started developing bots for them. We started developing bots for them. And to be honest, yesterday, we have deployed to their server. So the bot is going to be live next week. So I'm waiting for it.
Oh, excellent. Wow, man. That's awesome. Are you broadcasting? You doing content distribution? You doing forms and surveys? And you're doing the HTTP requests? Or is it different?
Oh, what are you talking about? Like, which one?
Oh, for the chatbot, like which one of those functions is the chatbot doing?
Oh, which one? So basically, we have something called webhooks. It talks to the Facebook server first. We take resources from Facebook servers, like the buttons and all these authentications, getting the user ID first. So we take all the resources. Then we talk to the third server or the endpoint over there. So we have a middleman, Facebook, sitting. We talk to Facebook. Facebook talks to the endpoint, gets back the resource. So we have like intercommunication over here.
And now, is the entire thing based off of Facebook Messenger chatbot then?
Yeah, for them, we build totally on Facebook. We got another client, even this turned out to be enterprise. He wants to basically put the entire Bitcoin trading platform on a chatbot. So
No way.
Yeah, the idea is you able to buy a Bitcoin using a chatbot. And the thing is like basically, open your messenger. This bot we're working on Telegram, open the messenger and be like, I want to buy 2 Bitcoins. What's the price right now? And the bot replies back with the current rate. And also we like to add in the business intelligence saying that, all right now it's like $1,000. If you wait a little bit more, I think it's going to rise. It could give you suggestion when to buy and when you should not buy. Yeah.
It's like $3,000 right now for 1 Bitcoin.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. It is 3,000. Last time I checked, it was 2,000 something.
It's like 27.26 right now. 26.92.
Yeah.
But damn. I mean, like that. There's a huge spike. What, like 2 weeks ago?
Yes. Huge spike.
Oh man. God, love it. I love it.
Yeah. So that is something what we are doing, trying to put the whole trading platform on Bitcoin. Like you'll be able to buy and sell. And also you'll be able to take services by paying in Bitcoin currency through the chatbot.
Wow, very cool, dude. This bot's called Telegram, right?
No, it's on Telegram. So Telegram is WhatsApp encrypted, like that allows chatbots. Not many people uses it. Telegram Messenger.
Telegram. Never heard of it, actually.
Yeah, Telegram. It's more in Asia and I think Europe countries.
That's a really cool story. That's awesome, man. I love it that you were expecting a small crowd and then got a huge crowd and then you doubted yourself. And then we call that imposter syndrome. Like I get that a lot, when I don't believe in myself a lot and I think I'm just kind of like an imposter and I'm not qualified to do this type of work. So I feel like an imposter, right? But you just did it and you went for it. And then you charged 5 times extra. I love it, man. That's awesome. That's so cool. So what's the story? How'd you get the enterprise gig? I mean, was it the same type of premise or what?
Which enterprise are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin.
Client.
So this guy was my college friend and he was into cryptocurrency. Like he was madly invested into cryptocurrency. Not that he owned any Bitcoins. It was just that, he was very invested and felt like, Bitcoins are going to be the big thing. So he used to mine Bitcoins. So the difficulty levels happen to increase every day. Now it's really, really difficult to mine a Bitcoin if he somehow was into mining Bitcoins, but then he saw that the difficulty level is increasing. So he was looking ways where he could add chips, make it very small and increase the processing power and mine Bitcoins. It turned out that, he used to go to every investor, but the investment was so large and he wasn't a credible guy. Like, he wasn't well experienced. It was just my age. So a lot of investors used to decline him because you can't give up money to someone who is not, in the market for a long time. So he used to mine Bitcoins and he used to find ways to, somehow mine more Bitcoins using less CPU power. So he tried different investor. It failed. So he got hooked to one of the investors and he showed him the product. He showed him the whole thesis behind it. Like, this is what we're going to do. Investor was like, how much money is it going to take? And he said $40 million. And no one's going to give you $40 million to a young college guy, right? College student. So the investor was like, dude, very honestly, you're selling a fiction movie over here. Okay, so you can't make this happen. All this thing that you're saying, I can make the CPU very small. I can do this and make it. I could do research on it and all that. It's not gonna happen. So it was like, all right, I'm into cryptocurrency investment. Tell me some other idea, and I'll be ready to invest on it. And he says, right there and then, he had a thought. Since I'm his friend, he was like, "Oh, my friend Sharjeel builds Chatbot," and he just said it. Oh, we can put the whole trading platform on Chatbot. And the investor got a little curious on it. Maybe we could do this. And it will actually be awesome to do this. So he was like, yeah, this sounds really great. So somehow he was like, all right, I'll write you the first check. Let me know what happens. So he comes to me and he's like, Sharjeel, I just closed a deal with my investor and he wants a trading platform on a chatbot. Can you guys do it? Back then we were just like 3 or 4 people. I told him, look, we're a small team. Your project means, more money. So we'll be basically taking more money and we're going to be hiring more people. So he was ready for it because the investor was ready to invest a whole lot of money. So he was like, all right, fine. I told him, till your project is complete, you're going to handle the burn rates of the company. So he was like, yeah, fine, I'll do that. So we closed the deal on it.
What's a burn rate?
For our company right now?
Yeah.
So ours like 2 lakh rupees. What's that accounts to? Let me just wait. Let me convert you in dollars. Oh, it's cheap actually. $3,100.
Oh, damn. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at the burn rates from the Valley right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $30 a month, man.
That's a one plus point about living in India. You have developers that will work for very less money. So that's why US outsource most of the project here in India, because people are ready to work at a very less price now.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends in Bangladesh and in India that I've done a lot of great work with. And as you guys are great workers, and I'm kind of drawn to the price a little bit too, Damn, and you're a real hustler and you're only 22. And just talking to you right now, it's like I'm hearing a lot of this language, use cases and the burn rates. And you're talking like an experienced veteran in the field. Did you think you were going to be at this level, 5 years ago?
I thought I would be better. Yeah, because, 5 years ago, 5 years before, I felt like, I got to create $1 million company. I got to create 100 opportunities for people. And I somehow feel that, I didn't perform as supposed to perform. So I still felt that, I didn't do a better job. That's the thing.
Where does that come from, that feeling inside you that you haven't done enough?
You said it. I'm a hustler. Yeah, that's the thing. So whenever I am sitting idle, I feel this, damn, what am I doing? You got one life. I shouldn't be doing this. And all of a sudden you start working on something. And sometimes you get a little frustrated when things doesn't work out. You take a 2 or 3 days off and, then you get back. So for me, it has always been that, there were a lot of times where I gave up. So when things weren't working out for me here in India, so we have a lot of family pressures. So you are expected to live a certain, guided life over here. So you graduate, you take up a job, you get married, you start a family. I mean, this is very conventional. You have to do it. So if you're 26 or 27, you need to get married. Otherwise, society is going to be like, whoa, you're not married, you're 26. How can that be? I mean, they keep pressuring you. And if you're doing something, let's say, if you're starting a business and it's not making any money, even then the society is going to be like, well, what are you doing with your life? Why don't you take up a job and get experience? You could do a whole lot of. So that's the reason India is failing to produce good entrepreneurs. But slowly, with the support of government and slowly the shift in the culture, it is able to do that. It's actually growing. And I feel that India has a lot of potential to it. When I see developers, when I see people who are really smart, and I just felt that, they have so much potential. And the only thing that's stopping them is that, what will people think?
Where do you draw your motivation and what inspires you?
I try to build a team that is better than me, that believes in the idea more than me. So the 8 people right now we have, I never tell them to give the time. I never tell them all right, you got to work 8 hours every day. But these guys comes in and they pull in like 12, 13 hours every day. So, that's like a minimum they put in. I'm really proud of the fact that, all right, I'm able to create a team that believes in the idea right now. So even sometimes I don't feel like working. Sometimes I feel like a little tired. But when I walk up to my team and they're doing better job than me, they're working more hours than me, I'm not putting my best, because look at these guys. They're sleeping in the office right now on beanbags.
Dude, what a wonderful and genuine and beautiful answer, man. That's just great. But did you learn to develop this, or was that type of leadership style always in you?
So it was pretty much like, I would say, in me from the very beginning, that, I got to do something. I should be able to lead. I should be very clear with myself and the people. I would say this was something in me, but it was something like 20, 30% that I was able to do. I mean, I was perfect with the leadership quality. Then slowly, when you try to do something, you end up building that more and more quality. So on top of it, you build experience, you build your skills. If you have a foundation, you need to build the blocks. That's the thing. So I had the very concrete foundation that, I want to be a leader, and I want to get better at it. So I was able to build those blocks.
Yeah. So like the blocks are like the people for your startup, right? And it's like, how do you hire the best people for your startup?
Yeah. So the first thing I try to avoid is the internet marketing or, advertisement, because I don't want people to put in their resumes and then get in. Mostly what happened is that, I go through my connections, attend events, and I just observe people. Okay, I attend a lot of hackathons and observe people, how passionate they are in working. How passionate they are about programming, if they want to be a developer, how passionate they are about, leading the team or, managing the team. So I just go to events, or I go through my contacts. So the two of the employees are the juniors from my college. So, I used to observe them. I was like, oh, gosh, these guys are doing really great. If I ever start a company, I'm going to take these guys. And that's what I did. So I would say it's sort of internal connections that I try to, make use of instead of advertising on the internet or doing any other stuff. So it's pure connections.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great answer. Fucking interviews, man. They're the worst. They're the absolute worst, man.
That's what happened. When we conducted interviews, and we got like around 15 applicants, and we end up hiring one. So this guy was like, I know this, I know that, I know how to build, I can work around with any technology. So we actually bought it. We were like, okay, fine. And once he started the work, we actually end up wasting our 1 week. So we lost time. So I was like, all right, let's try to work around with connection. Let's try to work around with people we know and we think can do a good job.
You said something about hackathons. Hackathons are just the quintessential, the space to observe people while they work for 24 to 48 hours or whatever it may be. I mean, if you look at people in college or in high school and you observe them working while they're working on a hackathon, it is unbelievable how evident it is to where the poorer performers are and to where the high performers are. Because the high performers, they are grinding all night. All right. They are the ones with the Red Bulls and the energy drinks, they're the ones without the sleeping bags,
True.
Do you do a lot of hackathons, or what's up with that?
Do you know AngelHack by any chance?
I don't.
Yeah, so they're based out of San Francisco, and they do worldwide hackathons. So they also come to India. So one of the employees got it from AngelHack hackathon. And we also have a local company over here that does hackathons. Hackathons are every week. So whenever we get time, attend one, we go over there, observe people, talk to them. So basically we go over to them and talk very casual, give them our cards and be like, hey, if you ever feel like interested being part of, we're doing this very cool with AI, and we're trying to revolutionize and sell ourselves. And then if they're interested, they give us a call. And
dude, AngelHack is huge. How have I not heard about these guys? This is enormous. Have you heard of Major League Hacking at all?
Major League Hacking,
MLH. Yeah, Major League Hacking.
No, I think I'll just say.
So these are the guys that go around to universities, and they're the hosts of these like hackathons, right? And they bring in a bunch of sponsors, and they bring in like the Oculus Rift hardware. They bring in like just a bunch of different hardware for people, 3D printers, Arduinos, and things like that. So this is cool, dude. I'm like on AngelHack, and they're code creators and change makers, and they're all around the world, man. 44 different countries. That's awesome.
Yes, that's the thing. Over here in India, we have something called Hack Mania, like the Hyderabad. So these guys do a lot of hackathons, and that's where we get our guys. But right, we're not hiring actually, so we're like closed. So we're really not worried about recruiting people, but actually focused on building our product and getting over with our clients.
Well, that's cool, man. I mean, like I was reading your Medium post about like how to hire the best people for startups, and you're talking about like word of mouth. You're talking about inspiring. I mean, it's very cool stuff. What have been your biggest challenges with Bothook so far?
The biggest challenge, I would say, there are a lot of them, but if I had to take one, I would say getting customers. You could create the best product in the world, but if you fail to sell, then there's no point. So I think sales is very important in a company, and that's where a company should focus. Yeah, I would say sales was one of the big deals. So just look at it. The two of the clients I got weren't even supposed to be my clients. They just somehow bumped into me in a way. So they didn't come through, we didn't do any sort of advertisement, like I said. So they just bumped into me, got to know me about, in connections, and called me up. So we haven't released our product yet. Our product is basically anyone can create a chatbot using your mouse. So drag and drop, and just like give the very clean user interface to the people. So even a person like you, who probably is not well in technology, can create a chatbot.
How dare you, sir?
I'm just assuming. I don't know. Maybe you're great.
Is it going to be HTML5?
So we're working on something called React.js. That's React.js. So on the front end, we use React.js, a whole JavaScript. So yeah, HTML5, you can say that, yes. We're going to use HTML5 along with different libraries. And on Chatbot, we use Node.js. For database, we use MongoDB and Redis.
Okay, so maybe I am a little tech illiterate. All right, fine.
I don't think so.
That's awesome, man. So like at NIU and Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, I've been attending Husky Hackathon, which is their hackathon, right? And last year I was the, how can I say this? I was the community engagement specialist / DJ for the night. I was up on the stage DJing and kind of like helping out like the students there a little bit. So that was a lot of fun, man. I really, really enjoy hackathons. I believe in hackathons a lot. But yeah, I mean, they teach me more than, say, colleges have ever, taught me about computer science or whatever. So speaking of which, I'm actually looking at another one of your Medium articles that says, okay, here's the title, guys, all right? Colleges are, in all capitals, letters, shit.
Exactly.
All right, so here's the tagline. Your college degree is going to be shit. Trust me, literally S-H-I-T, shit.
Because I didn't get anything out of it, man. Like, I'm an engineer right now, and trust me, I learned a lot from my co-working space and doing different stuff. So if I never ran a co-working space, if I never, had this idea of like starting something up, I would say I would have been just, a guy, illiterate tech, I would say, because I wouldn't be able to do a whole lot of things that I'm able to do right now. Yeah, I believe that, you end up spending a whole lot of money into colleges, and we're changing right now. So earlier, back in the days, colleges degrees were really important, but look at the way we are facing towards. Now we have every information available on the internet. Okay, you can learn a lot of things on the internet, just few clicks. I'm just observing this and I'm like, oh, damn, I learned a lot on the internet and through attending events and, running a co-working space rather than attending college. So that's when I come up to a point that, damn, this whole degree thing is shit for me now.
I understand your frustration. And I mean, I'm looking at your article and I see like the stats, right? And you have this cool little table here. It says, in God, I believe, the rest I leave to data. And the figure is young college graduates have higher unemployment rates than older college graduates. And there's a column from college graduates from 21 to 24 years of age with almost an 8% unemployment rate. And you're taking data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. But still, I mean, India produces 5.5 million jobs across levels every year. But this number falls short of jobs needed to employ available talent. And automation is further increasing the gap as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I'm still kind of debating this in my head too, if college is shit. I just got my grad degree last year in May, and it was in public administration. So it's like how to manage and how to governments and nonprofits, basically. My day job right now is I work for a local government. So without that degree, I wouldn't have this job right now. But now on the side, I'm doing my own business. I'm doing this podcast. And to be honest, it's making me more money than my day job at this point. And at what point do I write a Medium article saying that college is shit? I don't know. Maybe soon, dude. Maybe soon. I don't know.
It really depends. I think for something like computer science right now, I think it is. Do you know IIT by any chance? It's like the most recognized and prestige. It's like the Ivy League of India. IIT college universities.
Oh, okay, no. IIT?
Yeah, IIT, Indian Institute of Technology. So all the great big CEOs comes out from here. So all the Indian companies CEO that you see mostly are from IIT. And if you happen to be from IIT and you just started a company, it's really easy for you to raise money because you're from IIT. So just like how it's easy for someone from the Valley or, from Stanford University to raise money. We had candidates coming from this university. And when I saw that, people who didn't have degrees, they were either on the same level or they were actually better than them. And they didn't have a degree. So all they learned was they self-taught them and they somehow, put themselves on the same level as the IIT guy. So they took online courses. They reached for every possible resource they can. They were actually better, I would say. So that's where I got the idea.
Let's talk about that because I think that's interesting. And I think it kind of correlates to a lot of the podcasts that I've been having lately with people is that a lot of these entrepreneurs, these young entrepreneurs especially, they're completely self-taught. It's mind-blowing. We, in this generation, have grown up with the promise of the free internet and the free source and the open sourceness of it all, and having all the information and data being online available for free to use. And the only restraint is your own imagination and drive and energy.
True about it.
So it's like this is really attracting the type of people that gravitate towards learning for themselves, that what's it called? Autodidactism or whatever. But it's like, no. I mean, is this better than a college education though? Just like learning by yourself? I just can't see.
Well, it really depends, I would say. So it depends on your college, on your major. So like you said, you did it for public administration. So I don't know. You said that, if you didn't have a college degree, you wouldn't have gotten a day job. It really depends. But in the field of tech, it's really all about getting things done. It's really all about getting shit done, to be honest. So if you can do that, that's it. You don't need a college degree. You don't need all those fancy certificates,
How do you get taught how to get shit done, though? In which classroom does that skill get taught?
I don't know. I think it's inbuilt inside the people. Like most of the people that I've met who have self-taught themselves, so they had this whole, I would say, ambition to learn. So they had the pursuit to do it. It's all in you, man. It all depends on you. There are a lot of people.
I love that. I love that idea, man. I love it so much because it slices the idea of that, like, we're all equal. You know what I mean? We're like all equal. And I think that idea really cuts through that. And it's maybe that we're not all equal, and that some people possess those skills and some people just don't, you know? Some people aren't as motivated as the other guy in the room. And that's just like a sad reality, but you have to acknowledge it. I mean, that guy that you said who had the really great interview, and you bought everything that he said, and then you wasted a whole week on that guy, right? Rather than just looking at the guy in the other room who's like intensely motivated, has a lot of ambition, who's self-driven, who's self-taught, you know? It's just like, it's an entirely different breed of people.
That's true.
It's absolutely crazy. What do you believe? Because I think you are definitely cut from that cloth. I think you are definitely of the ambitious crew. You know, you are of the people that have drive. And do you think that's just from your upbringing? Do you think it's from genetics? What do you think it is?
Well, when I started the co-working space, I was around people and I asked them, why did they start up? And they told me stories about that. You know, for 6-7 years, they used to work in a corporate world. And all they did was that, you know, fixing bugs or testing out the software. There wasn't actually a growth, and there wasn't actually something like, oh, I am doing something really cool. Looking to them, I always felt that I don't want to end up like this. You know, I don't want to be that guy who, you know, just goes 9 to 5, you know, make a living, come back home. I don't want to do that. So I always had this feeling, even this time right now, you know, where a lot of people are saying that, you know, what happens when your client runs off? Okay. What do you do then? So there's always this fear that we're going to lose. There's always this fear that, you know, we're going to run out of money, or, you know, our company is going to close down. But I always have this thing in my mind. If this fails, I'm not going back to I'm not going to 9 to 5 job. I'm starting something again. Okay. So because, you know, I just want to do cool things. And that's what I sell most of the time. I'm like, you know, I can't sit on a cubicle and, you know, make money. It's not about money. It's actually about doing something cool. So I got a lot of job offers actually to, you know, I basically get zero paid right now. I'm drawing zero money from my company because I'm looking at a stage of growth. Even if I'm getting paid zero and I'm just barely surviving, I always feel like, you know, oh, that's cool. That's okay. We are doing something cool. They're doing something great. And I think we could bring a lot of influence to the world. So I think that's a drive, the drive that, you know, you can impact so many lives. And the feeling that I'm going to have next week that Ace23 is Chatbot's going to be run by we basically crafted that chatbot to them. So that sort of feeling, you can never have this if you have a job, if you're doing some monotonous work. So I think that's the reason behind it. When you create something and a lot of people use it, so 8 million people, I don't know, even if we get like 1 million people using those chatbot and they like it, that feeling that, damn, we created it. And look, so many people are using it. I think that's the motivation behind it. That's the big thing.
That's great, man. And I really think that what you're saying is you enjoy a sense of ownership over your work and your products. And, you know, having a sense of ownership in a 9 to 5 or whatever, a day job, it's really hard to get. I speak from practical experience in the local government sector. A sense of extreme ownership over the things you do is practically non-existent. And that's definitely the reason why I started to branch out and to do my own thing. I want to see the creative flourishings of my own imaginations come to life and to become another person's reality in a way that, you know, gives them happiness or improves their business. You know what I mean? So I feel like whenever I make a client happy, I get that like extreme sense of ownership and pride in myself. And you just really can't get that out of a 9 to 5 sometimes.
That's the reason we're doing this.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And switching topics just a little bit, but trying to stay in the same vein as this conversation and this discussion is going. You know, a lot of talk online about millennials, right? The millennial generation, which is like our generation. I just saw this one article. I think it was today or yesterday, and it was millennials are causing the retailers, Buffalo Wild Wings and Applebee's, to close down because we, as millennials, aren't going out to the retail food chains anymore. So their prices are going up and like their stocks are falling because of us, the millennials. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Anyways, I think it's bullshit, to be perfectly honest. But this whole like debate, discussion revolving around millennials versus boomers, what is that like in India? Do you guys talk about it?
Yes, we do. We do actually. We talk about millennials. So I believe that when you have innovative product, the other primitive thing that was running, that goes off. I think it's actually stupid to say that millennials are to be blamed. That's not right at all.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to take a pulse of like India right now, and I'm trying to get like a sense from you about like what the conversation is like in India, and kind of more broadly where you think India is going right now.
India is a country where it has a stringent culture and society rules, but these millennials, they're now changing. Okay. So in India, it was people used to judge a lot if you wear clothes in a fashion where it's not acceptable. So people are now understanding that everyone has their own choice to make and they can live that life. And also to support the communities, we have to do something. Yeah, it's slowly catching up in India, but still there is, we are far behind. There's a lot of room for improvement, I'd say. So we're quick learners and we're trying to solve big problems. I like to work on couches and mentors. This picture doesn't really ring to all those thousands of Indian millennials right now. So there are a lot of millennials who haven't got caught up to this idea.
Yeah, I mean, what's it like in Hyderabad? I mean, is there a lot of millennials doing what you're doing right now, or are you a pioneer, would you say? Or
I wouldn't say that. That would be too much for me. But yeah, the thing is, it's really difficult to find like-minded people who are young because let's be honest, we are not provided with equal opportunity. Okay, right now I can do this because I don't have a lot to worry about my financials and I don't have a family to take care of. I don't have responsibilities. But some other guys here in India, that guy might have a lot of expectation from his parents. Maybe his parents cannot afford right now to look after him. So it really depends. So the thing is, what I found was that, I am so fortunate to be provided with this opportunity that I can do something. Have you seen Mark Zuckerberg commencement speech, by the way? By any chance?
No, I haven't. Was that at Harvard, right?
Yeah, Howard. He actually talked about millennials. He talked that, there needs to be a sense of purpose. And he talked that, we are not provided with equal opportunity. And he was only able to create Facebook because he was born in the United States and he was enrolled in Harvard. But this is an argument over here that, the Indians who are in the United States right now, they have master's degrees, they are PhDs, but they drive Uber, they work at McDonald's, and that's because they were just born in a different country. So you get it, right?
Oh, yeah, I get it. Did you draw a lot of inspiration from Zuckerberg?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of, because one of your Medium posts, you had mentioned the Facebook, F8 conference. Dude, I love those Fate development conferences. They're amazing, right?
So yeah, I think we just had an Apple conference right now.
Oh, really? Like recently?
Yeah, recently, just a couple of hours ago, I would say.
Oh, cool.
So they released business for bots, so we're looking into it. Even they are stepping into bots. Apple is stepping, Amazon already stepped in. Google, Facebook. This really shows that, it's a next big thing and we really need to hold on to it because something big's going to happen as soon as artificial intelligence breaks through. A lot of big things are going to happen.
What do you think about that? I mean, we have all these different companies that are kind of scurrying towards chatbots. They're scurrying towards the smart speakers inside your home, Google Home, Alexa. Now it's looking like Apple has called the Home Pod a breakthrough home speaker delivering amazing sound and providing incredible intelligence. We have this push towards chatbots. We have this push towards bringing new emergent technology into the house and into wearable technology as well. And now all of these giant, multinational corporations are going to couple that with very sophisticated artificial intelligence. And we are going to see this change, this revolution, I think, in the next 5 years with artificial intelligence. I really don't know where it's going to end up.
Everyone's putting money on it, actually. Everyone's putting their faith and their money on artificial intelligence. So that's what we were doing. So as soon as it picks up, somewhere we feel that, we're going to be part of the journey. We're going to be the early adopters. Since we're the early adopters of chatbots, we strongly feel that, we need to hold on to it and see what happens next. Because as a small startup, there's not much you can do about artificial intelligence because, you need lots of research labs, you need really, really smart people. It's still in the research phase, and publicly, nothing of that sort has come out that you can say it's like, oh, great, this is artificial intelligence. So it's just in a working condition right now, barely usable.
Yeah, barely usable. That's interesting. I was just listening to this NPR story the other day, and it was about this young girl. She was a teenager, right? And she's still in high school. And she developed this artificial intelligence program. Okay, so check this out, all right? There is space debris in low orbit where the International Space Station is. So there's tons of space debris from, I don't know, broken, just tons of things that break up in low Earth orbit, right? And so the risk, to the International Space Station and to other types of things and objects in low Earth orbit is kind of high, right? Because you have lots of debris out there. Anyways, long story short, she developed an AI using artificial intelligent neural networks, okay, to anticipate and to predict where the space debris would go. So she can port this into an application onto the International Space Station and have them use it so they can avoid certain space debris. So anyways, there are certain applications of AI right now that I think companies can use. For example, neural networks, right? And there's a couple of other ones too, but I think you're right. It's too early, right, to kind of get on the bandwagon because you don't have the resources available to kind of get you into the market yet, right? I mean, how would you even make money off it right now?
Make money out of what?
Of AI.
AI, oh, it really depends. That's what it is. You gotta look into the tech, and I'm not so sure. We're just gonna wait and find out. But, a lot of companies are just spending money because if somehow AI picks it up, think about it. You're wearing a Google Glass and you're walking towards a store, but you pick a product and all of a sudden sends a request to an Amazon server, and it's like, oh, you can find it cheap on Amazon. Don't buy it. So things like that. So we have different kind of use cases out there. That's the future we're looking into it, a smarter world. Just look at Google Maps. You're starting from your home and you want to go to your work. It gives you directions where, possibly you can reach at a faster time. So it really depends. I would say the whole point of AI is to make the world smart. So that's what Chatbot is going to be doing. Like I said, on the Bitcoin platform, the trading platform that we are putting, is going to do the same things. It somehow is going to predict rates. In the future, it's going to tell you when to buy, when to sell off. It'd be like, all right, we're expecting a crash. You need to sell it off right now. There's another thing called Hopper, if you know. Basically, it helps you with flights. So it runs through a pattern and see, when flights are usually cheap, when the rates go high. So you can save a whole lot of money from this application. So it's all about the smart world, making it really smart. And doing that, we will be requiring a lot of data. So that's where big data comes into. to do that sort of math, coming to a conclusion that, all right, you're going to find cheap flights next week. We have to go through different patterns. We have to take a lot of data into consideration, then come to this point. I think, yeah, AI is going to pick it up. But for us right now, it's just there. It's just, I would say, a namesake thing. We're working on AI just to, publish. It's a marketing gimmick that we're using right now.
I love that, man. I love that. That's awesome. That's probably true for a lot of companies too,
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think is going to be Bothook's thing in the next 5 years? Where do you think it's going?
So our whole aim or goal is to let businesses create chatbots, give conversational experience, make conversational experience better. And we like to create opportunities for people here in Hyderabad, basically hire more people. And I think we want to crack this up. We want to allow people to engage with bots without any disruption, without any sort of interruption or being annoyed. So that's what our goal is. So we plan to do this. We see a world where, Bothook is able to give businesses that value where you don't need human anymore. It's just bots who are communicating with you.
Oh, that's awful. I mean, do you guys talk about like the philosophy behind what you guys are doing? I mean, because what you just said was like a little dystopian future, a little Terminator-esque, you know what I mean?
True. So that's what I'm saying. So the jobs are changing. You can't stop automation right now. That's the thing. Because if you stop automation, it's basically like stopping innovation, right? You need to focus on something else. I mean, the people that are going to be taking jobs will be something different than what it is today. So I know we will be destroying a lot of jobs, but we'll also be creating a lot of jobs. There's also an article where, even bots are going to apply for jobs. And Bill Gates arguing on bots should pay taxes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, what's that about?
I don't know. He just feels that, as the bots evolve and they are stealing human jobs, we should also tax the robots. I mean, I don't know how he plans to do that. Maybe tax companies that runs bots. I think that's a more ideal way to do it.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. So there's this really famous poem called The Lamplighter. It's by Robert Louis Stevenson, published in 1885. And basically, it is... There used to be gas lamps around back in the 80s, right? And then there was the arc lamp done by some, electricity. And the lamplighter from the gas lamps was like a whole industry, a whole profession, a whole noble profession of the lamplighter, right? And with the advent of the arc lamp, all of the lamplighters in London all of a sudden overnight became unemployed. But at the same time, there became a new profession of technicians for the arc lamp itself, right? And the same thing happened in the 19-teens and in the 1920s when the car took the place of the horse. Well, all of a sudden, a bunch of horseback riders, a bunch of riders and a bunch of drivers of horse cart carriages and wheels, right, became obsolete. Well, what happened? They ended up going into the factories making the cars themselves. So I think there's going to be a displacement of workers because of automation and because of AI, right? But a lot of smart people, though, right now are saying that this time it's going to be different. This time there's going to be even more displacement than we are going to know what to do with. What do you think about that?
I'm not so sure about it because I haven't really looked into it, but the thing that I know is AI is going to take a lot of people, steal a lot of people's jobs, and it's going to automate the things. Just look at it. Our population is increasing, so which means the supply is needed. So, you need to do things at faster rate. You need to, solve problem at faster rates. So it's also important for a bot to do it rather than a person doing it. I don't know. We have to watch and see because this whole thing really depends on what's going to happen. Like, what would be things in the next 5 years. politically and economically, like what are going to be the decisions. So really depends. I mean, politicians who are trying to stop this, saying that, hire people, somehow encouraging companies to, not work around with bots. We're trying to bring factory jobs back, but I don't think so. It's really possible because you will increase the work hours, you will increase the production hours and the cost, because it's really expensive to hire labor and then get those shoes made rather than a bot doing it.
I think you're right on the money, man. People like Elon Musk and a couple of other people are saying that the job displacement is going to be so severe that we're going to need a universal basic income, basically, to help give money to these people that are going to be displaced by these jobs. I don't know. It might come true. It might not. People like Ray Kurzweil are also saying this to a much greater extent. And who knows, man? Maybe this new technology, this new emergent technology might displace all of our jobs, especially the middle management type of jobs. And it might give us more time to be creative. It might give us more time to be more invested in our friends and family. I don't know. It might be positive. Who knows, right? Yeah, but anyways, I mean, it's very fascinating. And I can't wait for the next 5 years to go by, Sharjeel. I really can't. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited. And people like you who are on kind of like the cutting edge, the bleeding edge technology is it's also really exciting to kind of watch grow, because people like you, I think, are going to be kind of the world's future, the leading technology leaders of the next 5-10 years. And you kind of have a burden right now. You have the burden of guiding us into the future, Sharjeel.
Oh, that's a lot, man. Damn.
Yeah, no pressure or anything, man.
Thanks, man.
Well, hey, listen, let's wrap this up. And we're going to put you on a lonely island right now. I do this with all the podcasts. The idea is that you go onto a lonely island and I give you only a few items to bring with you, okay? And the first item is a book. So what book out of all the books in the world that you've read would you bring on the lonely island?
Well, there's a book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So that one book that taught me sales, I would say. So can I bring 2-3 books along with me?
Go for it.
All right. There's another book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. So that's great. So that's the second book I would bring in. And another one from Peter Thiel's book, The 0 to 1, Notes on Startup. So yeah, these are the 3 books I would bring in.
Dude, 3 really good choices, especially Peter Thiel's, man. That's a great book. If I might say one thing before I go on, how to win friends and influence people, there will not be any friends or people on the lonely island. Just make that clear. Okay, so the other question is, if you could bring one album or one like record or one like artist with you, musical artist, what would it be?
I would say Eminem's.
Eminem's?
Yeah, I listen to a rap a lot of time. Yeah. Sing for the Moment is my favorite.
No way, man. You're cracking me up, dude. That's awesome. Sing for the Moment?
Yeah, what's yours, by the way?
Damn, man. No one has asked me this. I have asked like a ton of people this, but I've never really thought about it myself. But you know what? I would probably go with, it's this little indie band called Neutral Milk Hotel. Yeah, okay. Neutral Milk Hotel. And the album is called In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. Dude, it's fucking magical, man. It's really magical, and I love it. Like, I would just be totally enveloped by it for years if I was completely stranded on a lonely island by myself. But anyways, dude, I have the Eminem Sing for the Moment YouTube video up right now, and I swear to God, right after we get off this Skype call, I'm gonna go on it and listen to it.
You should. It's a very motivating song, I would say.
Dude, I'm gonna blare it down in this basement. Anyways, okay, we got the book, we got the album. What is one website and then one app that you would bring?
Website, Wikipedia, no doubt about it. So it's a lonely island, right?
It's very lonely.
All right, I can't bring any messaging app because I wouldn't be talking to anyone.
Nope.
All right, Snapchat, it won't work because I would then just get jealous seeing people do do great with their life. I would be boring. So I think I would bring Quora. Yeah, Quora app.
Nice. So you can learn more information, right?
Yeah, because I'm lonely. What else I can do?
Maybe you can learn how to like build a raft or a boat or something.
True.
Okay, cool, man. Well, dude, Sharjeel, seriously, thank you so much for coming on. I've learned so much from you, and I've learned a lot about your company and your inspiration and motivations, and you're an all-around cool ass guy, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. You're cool yourself too.
Well, seriously, man, good luck with everything. Good luck with Bothook, and just good luck with life, man.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
All right, that was Sharjeel Siddique, and I'm Jake Lawrence, and you're listening to the Jake Lawrence Podcast. Sharjeel is the CEO of Bothook.com. Bothook is a chatbot platform builder, and that was my cat, Sahara. You can get a chatbot built tailored to your need. You can create new sales through chatbots. You could take orders, you could automate support, you could acquire customers, you can engage users. Having a Bothook for your Facebook page, for your website, for even your WhatsApp profile is important, and we're only going to see chatbots grow and expand in the next 2 to 3 years, really. They're going to get more and more integrated, and mark my words, they are going to blow up. So if you are a small business and you want an affordable chatbot built for your needs, Sharjeel Siddique and Bothook are your solutions. All right, so this is Jake Lawrence. You're listening to Jake Lawrence Podcast, and you can go to jakelawrencepodcast.com, where you can see all the articles I write for each podcast episode, and I have links to everything that we talk about throughout the show. So that's it, and stay tuned for more episodes. They are coming down the pipeline, guys. I know it's been a little slow, but just wait, it's gonna start getting pretty damn good.